start speed. Right, there we go. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Motive Racing. You're joined here with Honey Badger and Email Guy. This evening is the last race of the season, unfortunately, for the Clios and for Season 1. We're just watching our Tier 1 boys get underway here at this qualifying session for the sprint race. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Email Guy whilst I just go and get a glass of water.
Hello folks, how's everybody doing for those that are currently watching us? Here we see the only G setting the pace so far for the qualifying race, putting in at a 54.6 second lap.
Alright, there we go, I'm back now, mate.
Rightio.
I don't know if you managed to catch the previous race, Emo Guy, but it was a brilliant race. Coming down to the last lap, we did have 3 cars all battling it out, and I think they all finished within about half a second. So hopefully, with a full grid of cars, it will be very competitive this evening. Who have you got your eyes on for this race, Emo Guy?
Well, I always tend to keep my eye on the one race that always tries to set the pace, which right now it seems to be the only G.
Yeah, he's definitely been practicing a lot for this race. Obviously, he does have the world record round here, so he does know the track well, the race line, and how to get the fastest. But yeah, definitely showing his pace at the moment. 2 tenths out in front on provisional pole. We see on board with him with that Monster Angel livery. We've seen him a lot at the front this season. He's currently sitting, I think, 3rd in the standings. I'll just check for you now. But at the moment, we do think that JR Lock and Load does have this season wrapped up, currently about 30 points in front of Motoring Morgan. So yeah, at the moment the standings are as follows: JR Lock and Load out in front, 294 points he has. Motoring Morgan in 2nd, Bowie in 3rd, ALTEL in 4th, sorry. There we got G in 5th, as we just said. Grandad Stee in 6th. Smithy in 7th, Olimar in 8th, Rob in 9th, Dicrox in 10th, Falgast in 11th, DJ Phil in 12th, and Malik in 13th. So we do have a few new drivers this evening. If you've been watching the whole stream this evening, we have got our top 3 championship drivers from Tier 2 to come and join us for this race. Hopefully they can get familiar with the roster. Obviously they will be coming up along with 3 more from Tier 2, sorry, for the next season. We do have a rule here at Motive where the top 6 from Tier 2 or Tier 3 do move up a tier. Unfortunately, the bottom 6 though do get moved down just to try and keep it competitive.
Well, I do feel like GR is going to have this championship, wrapped up. Even if he doesn't finish in a good position in this race, I feel like he's just going to wrap it up here.
Yeah, definitely. He's had some brilliant races throughout the season. One with myself at Hockenheim, he won by 0.014, if I remember rightly. A 4-car battle throughout the race, and manages to just steal it away from me. So, yeah, brilliant season for him. He has focused on this, not racing anything else. He is going to be the lead coordinator for our GT3s though next season. So. If you'd like to sign up for that, feel free to join our Discord where you can find out more. These boys all seem to be battling for track at the moment, wanting to slipstream each other and try and get the best laps again.
Oh.
Very unfortunate touch there. I don't know what that was. Trying to get on a fast lap or finishing a fast lap. It looked like G was just on the same bit of track that he wanted to be on. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, it's
Smithy, very unfortunate there. Looks like he's just pulled to one side there. Might just be waiting for some clear track. So it does look like at the moment, as you can see, with 8 minutes to go, Motoring Morgan on pole, coming back out of the pits with a fresh set of tyres and some new fuel in his car. The only G less than half a tenth behind him. Our current championship leader, 5 tenths off the pace, JR Lock and Load in 6th position at the moment, but we are only halfway through this qualifying session for our sprint race this evening in the Clios at Monza Short. There we go, we see our current provisional pole leader, Motoring Morgan, just trying to warm those tyres up before he gets onto a flying lap, staying off the race line, very safe from him, letting other cars past. As he looks now to be building the pace, wanting to slipstream what looks like Smithy just in front. And we see at the bottom our timings at the moment. Andy in 3rd, our usual commentator who did join us for Tier 2. And brilliant pace shown for him.
Well, I have a feeling this race is going to be very, very heated in some kind of fashion here.
Yeah, definitely. Last race of the season, all these boys wanting to get as many points as they can. A very tight track at points, especially in that first sector and first corner on the first lap. I'm sure there's going to be a few bumper touches.
Oh yeah. Especially if you watched the Tier 2 race where we had at least a three-man collision during that just going after the first corner.
Yeah, obviously we have a full grid this evening, so we can only hope all these cars get through that first lap safely and show a brilliant battle throughout.
And of course with these being front-wheel drive cars, they really do spin out so easily.
And there we see, ladies and gentlemen, it does look like JR, our championship leader at the moment, has managed to pick up the pace with 5 minutes to go here for our sprint race qualifying session. Less than 1/10 behind. Currently our top 4, as we see at the bottom of the screen, our top 4 less than 1/10 behind our leader, Motoring Morgan. So we can see these boys have been putting a lot of practice in, all look to be on the same sort of pace. And our top 11 drivers are all within 1 second at the moment, so that's brilliant to see from our Tier 1 drivers showing their pace. And it doesn't look like though at the moment Barry's managed to get out on track, so he might be starting at the back, maybe tactical to try and stay away from possible contact at the first corner and get past them all. I don't know what his plan is, but we'll have to keep an eye on him.
I think he may have actually just retired from the race.
Yeah, probably his dodgy internet's disconnected him again. We see RDJ's joined back in the session. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, the timings at the moment, with just a couple of minutes to go. G has done the most laps, as we see, 10 laps he's done, but he's currently not on pole, less than 1/10 between the top four, as I've just said previously. And anything can happen at this point. JR's come back in the pits, he's gone back out and looks to be doing one last flying lap. Let's jump back on the cameras and see who's out on track now then. There we are on board with our championship leader, just coming through that very tight, twisty first sector. Just trying to warm up those brakes and tyres with 3.5 minutes to go for this 15-minute qualifying session for the last race of the evening here at Motive Racing. Looks like he's stopped on the back straight, maybe waiting up for someone to use his slipstream before he does go on to his last couple of laps. There we go, they're using him as slipstream as well. They will swerve to the right now, swerve to the left, sorry. And away they go, away from him.
Well, it's definitely going to be a really interesting race this evening for the very last race of season 1 of Motor Racing. Is this the last race? Yeah. Yes,
mate. Last two races of the season, and then we've just got to wait 2 weeks until these get underway again. And it looks like Andy's crashed. Very unfortunate there. As we know, he cannot turn tight corners, as we saw at Daytona in the GT5s a couple of days ago. So obviously Andy's been out of the driving seat.
He has set the fastest lap time of the
qualifying
so far.
If you could put the timings up again, mate, then obviously we can see that. There we go, Andy currently on provisional pole, 5/10 in front of anyone, so he's absolutely smashed that lap, putting in a 53.9. Just have to watch out now to see if Motoring Morgan or G can catch him. Wow, brilliant lap there from Andy.
You said that, and obviously G is the world record holder for this track, so I have a feeling that he's just holding back a little bit, because also going into that first corner, if you're going to be on pole, then you are going to be in a lot of danger of, if anybody behind you gets hit, you're going to end up getting hit behind you anyway. So you have a feeling he's just probably holding back a little bit until the actual race.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously this track is well known for slipstreaming. As we did see in the previous race, there was a collision between the top three in the race, and it meant Swiss Tony got away 3 seconds in front of the other two cars which were taking part in the battle, and we did see those two cars clawing back in about 5 laps. So obviously that 3-second gap didn't last long with slipstreaming coming into effect. We see Motoring Morgan just pulling to the side, obviously not on a flying lap, letting these boys past. He knows now with 50 seconds to go, hopefully he can get up to his pace and for one last shot to try and catch those 6/10. It is to Andy. Just behind there we do see that Monster Energy livery of the ONG. He might be on a flying lap at the moment, I don't know. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on the cameras and the timing sheet. There we go, Motoring Morgan using all the track now. He will have one last shot at a flying lap to see if he can catch Andy. Will he be able to do it this time as he comes across the line? No, he doesn't. So he's got one last shot now. I don't know who's up his bumper, but they're using as much slipstreaming they can to try and claw those last couple of attempts to get their way up towards the front of this qualifying session. G's just sliding wide there at the back of the pitch. Very unfortunate, pushing that car as much as he can. It looks like these last two cars now out on the qualifying session. Motoring Morgan leading the way, being slipstreamed by someone behind, coming into the last corner of the Parabolica. Very easy to get wrong, that corner is, as Morgan takes the wide line. He's about to come across the line now. Will he be able to beat Andy and get on pole position for the first race of the evening for the Tier 1s? Let's have a look now, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't look in starting on pole. It does look like Andy, our usual commentator and league coordinator, is starting on pole. Take it away, Emo guy.
Well, in first place, in pole, we have Andy. Second place, Motoring Morgan. Third place is JR. Fourth place, the only G. Fifth place, Swiss Tony. Intel's in sixth. Smithy is seventh. Eighth is Grandad C. Ninth is Olimar. Dicrocs in 10th and... And then we have Falguest in 11th. Aries Umber at 12th. Malik in 13th. DJ Phil 14th and RDJ not putting in a lap time.
Yeah, full grid of cars ready to get down to that first corner. We're about to see now Andy on pole at the moment. 13 cars behind him, chasing him down, so we're definitely be looking what's going to happen in the first couple of corners onto that back straight, as to whether anyone gets a better start than him, or wow, who have you got your bets on for this evening sprint race, Emo guy?
Well, I still feel like I'm going to keep my money on the only G, because I feel like he is just holding back. He was just holding back a little bit for that time, that qualifying race, so he can try and take a couple of his opponents by surprise. Yeah,
definitely G. Like I said earlier, G's shown his pace throughout the season, and I think was it in the sprint race last week at Alton Park, he won by over 8 seconds. So obviously he has got the pace and knows Monza short very well, having the world record. I don't really know who's going to take this one. Obviously we did see in the previous race for Tier 2, if you did miss that, ladies and gentlemen, it will be on the YouTube channel shortly, but we did see a 3-car battle due to a crash behind. They managed to get away, and obviously slipstreaming is a big factor here at Monza with the long straight, so if we get a small group of cars going, then it could be anyone's at the end of the day. So feel free to comment who you do think is going to win, ladies and gentlemen. We're just watching now, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers are just putting fuel, changing tyres, open the radiators. There we go, the lights are about to go out, ladies and gentlemen. All the cars are on the grid. We're just syncing now. We're on board with our pole sitter, Andy on pole. And the lights go green, ladies and gentlemen, we're underway. The only G gets a brilliant start on the inside of Motoring Morgan into turn 1. It looks like we're going to be maybe 3 wide. Andy taking the wide line, not very defensive, but he does get the run. Only G manages to move up to second now, so Motoring Morgan losing 1 spot there through the start. Only G not looking to wait around now as we go onto the back straight, all over the back of Andy, as we see the full list of cars just coming in the background. It looks like one's about to spin. I don't know who that was, but a very brilliant save there. We're on board with the Only G coming down the back straight, all over the back of Andy. Only 3 tenths between those pair now. JR Lock and Load, our championship leader, just behind G. So these 3 cars aren't looking to stay around. G runs wide, so that might be a slowdown for him, possibly a penalty as we come to the end of the first lap. Emo, what are your thoughts?
Well, that was very close, very clean. You know, nobody made any big mistakes. Kept it all very close, very competitive. This is exactly what we like to see, you know, for Tier 1 racing, that motor racing. Oh, and there's
no, very unfortunate. I don't know what happened there, but it looked like someone ran out of brakes. Very unfortunate there. Obviously we do have stewards here at Motor Racing that will be looked into after the race, but we do still have Andy out in front with JR just behind. Very unfortunate G is not involved in that battle anymore. So it looks like Fal has made up some positions. A brilliant start for Fal there. He wasn't up at the front in qualifying, but he's showing his pace now on lap 2 of this race.
Oh, somebody's went wide. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like Swiss Tony.
Yep.
He's just racing Tier 2. Had a brilliant race with Eris Umbra and Pro Alpha to move up to Tier 1 for next season. So he's joined us for this race, showing his pace already, currently in 4th position. Some brilliant driving from him. Just behind we've got in 5th position Motoring Morgan, so he's lost a lot of positions at the start. I don't know what's happened to him, but obviously we do see his pace throughout the season in different cars and championships, so he'll be wanting to get back up there. He's got to get in front of JR Lock and Load to try and close that gap for the championship. I think if JR beats Motoring Morgan in this race, he does get the championship, so obviously Morgan won't be happy with that.
Definitely not. But like I said, it's very it's very competitive in these Clios, with them being so small. So they're so easy to lose, especially on a track that is so tight, so small. With other competitive drivers alongside yourself, it is so easy to get lost. It makes even the smallest mistake.
Yeah, definitely. Just running wide into this corner with a train of cars behind you, you can lose 3-4 positions and be heading towards the back of the grid. So you've always got to have full concentration, especially around this track, in these little cars with not much horsepower. Just like there, Swiss Tony's just ran wide there, and he'll lose out on that position to Motoring Morgan now. There we go, Swiss Tony trying to get back in that slipstream, get that position back. As we look at the front, we're 3 wide now, and Fal takes the lead. JR just behind on the inside. Andy takes 3rd position at the moment, so we're on board now with Falgas coming out of the Parabolica. We were 2 wide, but now Falgas still out in front as we're about to start lap 5. Andy taking the inside line, hoping to get up the inside of JR Lock and Load into the first corner. He looks to be a little bit further back though, so he might not be able to get it done. There we are, JR goes defensive. Very safe driving from these boys. And it's enabled that due to that battle, Motoring Morgan has managed to catch up to these boys now, so it does look like it's going to be a 4-car battle as we come onto the back straight now. Swiss Tony running wide again, very unfortunate. He might have done something to his setup in between these races, but he's still managing to show that pace in 5th position.
Extremely close race for a battle for 1st place. This is exactly what you want, and this is exactly what you expect from a Tier 1 race of any kind of league.
Yeah, mate, so we have got our championship leader at the moment on the inside there with his lights on, that blue and yellow car. At the back of this group we do have Motoring Morgan currently in 2nd in the championship. A brilliant season from these pair already, and they'll definitely be turning up for season 2.
Just looking at the comments there from Hart, go on Andy Puntnam. Oh, he's definitely putting up a really good fight against JR, Falgas, Motoring Morgan. He's doing a really good job of trying to keep them off.
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously these boys have been racing for six rounds now. Obviously Tier 1 does have 2 races, so they're on their 11th race of the season. So they've got the setup sorted and know these cars pretty well. Obviously this is the second race of the season, sorry, for Andy. He did race at Alton Park last week. We did see him come 3rd in his little battle with JR in the feature race. Looks like we're going to go 3 wide again across the line onto lap 7. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to leave a comment who you think is going to win this sprint race in Tier 1. I don't think in the commentary box we know yet, because this is absolutely brilliant racing from these 4 at the front.
Oh, it looks like DBJ has went into the pits.
Yeah, very unfortunate for DJ Phil. He's had a brilliant season. Very consistent driving from him. I'll have to ask at the end whether it's a tyre change or he's just not got enough fuel in. But we're still on board with this brilliant battle going on for the lead. Our 4 cars running 2 wide each of them. 13 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. And we've just seen a comment from Malik. And he's going to take the win today apparently in the sprint race. And he's currently running at the front, so will he be able to keep that? We're on board with our championship leader. It looks like someone's hit the wall. Andy's hit the wall. The commentator's curse there, ladies and gentlemen. Andy goes to the back of the grid. Very unfortunate there. Andy's dropped down to 10th position, so just that one little mistake. Too late on the brakes, and he's dropped down 9 positions. Very unfortunate.
That's the last thing you want, especially for the sprint race of the final, the final race of this season. That is just not what you want at all.
Yeah, well, Andy can pick himself up from this one and definitely learn his lesson for the next lap coming up now. But it also does mean if he doesn't finish in the top 5 now, he can qualify for the feature race and get back up at the front. He's just got to remember he has got a mandatory pit in that race.
Oh yeah.
Does look like there's still a battle going on at the front though, Emo Guy. Motory Morgan and JL are currently switching positions as they go through turn 1. Motory Morgan, remember, is in second in the championship. JL leading the way as shown on track. Felgas wanting a bit of this as well, wanting to get up at the front and win this sprint race, the last sprint race of the season in the Clios. Just behind we see that pack of cars coming around, all battling out for 4th position at the moment. We have Swiss Tony, our tier 2 promoted driver to tier 1 for next season driver, leading the way. Ollie Moore just behind. Eris Umbra, another driver, coming to tier 1 next season. So these two tier 2 boys that are going to be promoted are showing how it's done here at Motive.
It looks like DG Phil is going to be overlapped during the next lap coming up, which is extremely unfortunate. It's not what you want to have happen to yourself, especially during the last race.
Yeah, as we see though, 2 wide again into turn 1. JR lock and load manages to get the overtake done. He's going to be under a lot of pressure though from these 2 boys. Obviously slipstreaming on the back straight. Will these boys be able to get past into the Parabolica, using as much track as they can, trying to keep that power on? He's going defensive now, trying to get in the slipstream with DJ Phil. And it looks like the boys have hit the wall in the background. Very unfortunate there. I don't know who that was. It might have been Eris Umbra. It did look like Eris Umbra. Yeah, it was. Very unfortunate there. I think it was too wide out of that corner, so obviously trying to fight over the same piece of track coming onto the back straight.
I've done numerous races on this track with these cars, and just going through that corner there, if you keep the foot down, you're going to lose it. You're going to go wide. Your back end's going to slide out.
Yeah, still, if we look at the front though, Emu Guy, it does look like there's still a battle going on. 3 tenths between the top 3 still. They're 2 wide into the first corner. It does look like they've overtaken DJ Phil now. Very safe driving from him again this evening. Falguest, I think, just happy to sit behind and put pressure on these boys, hoping they'll make a mistake. That trainer car is just coming round that corner now, onto the back straight, trying to chase him down. There we go, we look like we're 3 wide in the first corner there, ladies and gentlemen. Falguest now getting the lead, so it did look like there's a brilliant battle going on. Unfortunately, I missed that due to just looking at the Facebook. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but we are on board at the front. Falguest flashing his lights, appreciating the fact these boys are having a safe race at the front, being chased down by AL Tel, our 4th place driver. We are on board with Motor and Morgan, touching bumpers into the Parabolica once more on lap 12. Falguest runs wide, enables Motor and Morgan to get up the inside. Motor and Morgan is going to be on the inside now for the first corner. We're 2 wide as we come across the line, ladies and gentlemen. JR Lock and Load wants to be part of this. It looks like we're going to be 3 wide across the line. Brilliant racing from our tier 1 boys. Ladies and gentlemen, the start of lap 13, if you're just joining us here, this is the sprint race. Falguest doesn't want to be part of that. An incident is about to happen if he came into there 3 wide. Very safe driving. Oh, I need to catch my breath.
Well, it is really exciting, and when you're commentating like that, it does really take out of you.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the timing sheets now. It does look like Andy's crawled himself back up to 4th position, but it does look like he's under pressure from a few cars behind. There we go, we've got 4 cars there battling it out. Andy leading the way, ALTEL just behind. Dycrox there, just behind ALTEL, and the only G there as well. So only G has clawed himself back up with Andy to possibly get a 4th place finish. Andy just runs wide there, he hits the curb as well with G. So hitting that curb's thrown his car over to the other side of the track. Very unfortunate. Might be a slowdown or even a penalty there, as it looks like they're 3 wide again coming across the line. And he just pulls in behind Dycrox. Oh no, Andy's out in front. 2 of the same liveries. ALTEL that was, just pulling in behind.
Oh, and I've just realised looking at the racer sheet that Smithy is also disconnected from the race as well.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Smithy's had a brilliant season. So we're back on board now, ladies and gentlemen, of our leaders. JR looks to have pulled a little gap, 5 tenths now out in front as they start lap 15, 7 minutes to go on the clock, and now our championship leader out in front. Falguest just behind in that fluorescent green car. Our second in the championship, in third at the moment. He does need to beat JR to be in any contention at all of the championship. JR would have to have an absolutely outrageous bad race though in the future, potentially not even finishing for Motoring Morgan to be in contention though, and I don't think that's going to happen this evening.
No, definitely not. But these 3 at the front just showing exactly how you do it, how you have a clean, quick race. Making sure you're not too much in each other's way. Just make sure you keep your overtaking clean. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before we started, if a pack of cars do get away, there's no way anyone's going to be catching them. These boys have been slipstreaming each other the whole race, and as we see there, the last lap for and it looks like Morgan's ran wide. Morgan's ran wide. Very unfortunate. He will be able to catch back up to these boys. As I was saying, the last lap for these boys, a 54 second lap these boys are doing, so it doesn't look like they're going to be caught up. The boys behind are doing the same sort of laps, and in the slipstream there's no way anyone else is going to be able to catch. But it does look like Andy and the only G have managed to pull away from the boys behind for 4th position at the moment.
Well, it does look like you're indeed right about the comeback for Andy. He has a really good driver. He has a fair amount of supporters coming in for him tonight. So, I don't think he wants to disappoint his fans too much.
Yeah, definitely. Andy had that showing at, well, his last showing was in the GT5s at Daytona Road Course. Very unfortunate to take out a couple of drivers there, but he's bouncing back from that and showing us his pace in qualifying for the sprint race, obviously on pole, but also had that mistake in turn 1, has managed to bounce back up to 4th position, battling with G at the moment. Obviously G has the world record round here, so a lot of pressure coming now from G into the Parabolica once more. 4.5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Do comment who you think is going to take the win now. I wouldn't read out the comment though, because we did see the comment from Malik saying Andy will take the win, as we just looked at the cameras after he said that. Andy was in the wall, so we don't want that commentator's curse.
Definitely not.
There we go, G's trying to pull to the right now, trying to get a better line, better flow into the first corner. There we go, we're side by side coming out of the first corner. Andy's going to be on the inside. G's going to be on the inside for the next one now though. They're going to be too wide onto the back straight now, ladies and gentlemen. Phenomenal driving from our two seasonal veterans here. You just see at the bottom of your pictures that battle's still going on for the lead. Joe leading the way just behind Vargas. Motoring Morgan a couple of attempts further back. There we go, round we go once more, ladies and gentlemen, on lap 19, now 3 minutes to go, so it does look like we're going to have about 3 laps more. Coming onto the back straight, JR leading the way, trying to get these boys off his back. Coming off the race line, Falguest happy to just follow at the moment, with Motoring Morgan just sitting on his bumper.
Well, it looks like both, it's going to be JR, Falguest, Motor Morgan, Andy, and the only G that's going to be not being able to qualify for the next race.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but that is a rule here at Motive. Obviously these boys have shown their raw pace in the sprint race, so we have to let the other lads have a chance, and obviously doing that does enable more drivers to be able to get out there, out in front, and especially in a race like this where slipstreaming is a big thing. We have seen these boys get away from the start, so to try and see who further down the field is going to be able to resemble this in the feature race. Please stick around, ladies and gentlemen, for that coming up very shortly.
Well, I have a feeling that, with the pace that the top 5 are setting right now, I don't feel like there will be too much of a hassle to get up all the way up to the top of the field and set a good gap between them and those further down.
Yeah, definitely. It depends when they pit, because if I was in their situation now, even in the top 3, I'd be happy with this. But also for the feature race, I'd definitely try and pit on the first lap, just so I've got some space out on track and I'm not battling with people out in front. I can just set fast laps and try and claw the boys back in.
Does not seem like DJ Phil is having a good lap at all right now. Being a minute and 15 behind the current pace.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I don't know if he's done any practice, but the rest of these boys have been on all day testing car setups and what works best for this evening's race. So as we've seen in qualifying, less than 1/10 between the top 4. Obviously showing everyone's pace.
Sounds like somebody may have spun out. I don't know. I heard tires tires done a burnout.
There we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the battle for 5th position at the moment. Swiss Tony leading the way. Ollie Marr just behind with Dycroc sitting at the rear. Swiss Tony, obviously, as I said earlier, is gonna move up to Tier 1 next season, so we're trying him out. And he looks like he's ran wide. Oh. Very unfortunate there. Oh my god. Ollie coming back on track as he bounces off the wall. Very unfortunate to hit Dycrocs there, but it looks like they've got away with it safely as they're onto the back straight now. And it looks like Andy has dropped down to 10th and left G out in 4th on his own, so I don't really know what's happened there. There he is. That
is not a good look.
I don't really know what to say about that apart from give the AA a call. And it looks like our leaders have finished. Let's see what's happening at the front. As we can see, Falguest takes the win. Sorry we didn't catch that, ladies and gentlemen. We're too busy trying to find out why Andy is in the air. JR finishes just behind him. Let's have a look at the battle for 5th position, Emo guy. Oh, it looks like they've finished as well. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't realise it was on the last lap when we were monitoring Andy sent to the moon.
Must have took out all the gas in his vehicle and replaced it with helium.
Yeah, by the looks of it, he didn't fancy this evening's race and fancied sitting in the spectators booth. There we go, we can see him there, looking to build sandcastles.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, now he's
There we
reset.
go, he's on his way now. I'm guessing that's the AI taking over. Oh, they want to build sandcastles as well. Well, there we go. What can we take from that? A brilliant race between the top four for the first half. Unfortunately, Andy did hit the wall, and it only left 3 cars, and them 3 were battling the whole way for the 24 laps we have seen. Join us back shortly after this, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There's the results. Please read them out for me, Emo.
Well, in first place we have Falguest. Second place we have JR. Third place we have Motor Morgan. Fourth, the only G. Fifth, Swiss Tony. Sixth, Dicrops. Seventh, Olimar. Eighth, Grandad Steve. Ninth, Aries Umbra. And 10th, DJ Phil.
Yeah, also not to forget Andy, currently in the last corner building sandcastles, DNF, but he takes 11th position. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you did like what you saw there in the sprint race, absolutely phenomenal battles between the top 3, for 4th and 5th as well. We are going to have the feature race shortly. Please stay on the channel, where the broadcast shall be started again shortly to see the qualifying for the feature race.